Super Talk 99.7 WTN, Matt Murphy and you until 7 tonight. We'll hand off to the great one, Mark Levin, at that time. It is 7 minutes after 6 o'clock on Super Talk. Pleased you've decided to join us. Stephanie wants to talk about woodpeckers. She's on the line. We have a number of you that are on the line, and we'd love to hear from you. 615-737-9986. I don't know. We can talk about woodpeckers for the entire hour. I don't know why we would do that, but we can. We can talk about yo-yos as well. It's been a weird show. It feels like a Friday. Doesn't it feel like a Friday show?
Well, why don't we just make it Friday and not come to work tomorrow?
Okay.
It's Friday Eve.
Puppy died. You just killed a puppy. You just killed a puppy with a woodpecker and a brick. Way to go, Jackson. So yeah, Ken, I'm down with that. I mean, we can tell
everybody we thought it was Saturday.
Yeah, maybe we just pretend like we thought it was Saturday. Yeah. All three of us collectively. Like we were saying Friday so much yesterday, we thought it was Saturday.
Don't answer our phones when they're ringing.
Oh yeah, just like that. Man, it's a great movie. Office Space.
Yes.
He just doesn't answer the phone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to come in.
Yeah,
Saturday. Yeah, it's what was his name?
What?
Lundergaard?
Lundberg.
Lundberg.
Yeah, Lundberg.
Yeah, it's Lundberg again. Yeah, still haven't seen you. It's like his 34th message he's left on the answer machine.
He's just out fishing.
No, man. No, man. Does anybody on?
I believe that gets your.
I believe that gets your ass kicked, man. You got a case of the Mondays.
That movie is classic.
It's so good. It's so good. Flair. So you want me to wear more? I just want you to do what you want to do. Yeah, we got a lot of flair on this show, and maybe we'll call it a Saturday tomorrow. I got an issue. If anybody knows, and I'm not knocking the one I've been going to, but if anybody knows a great barber out Mount Juliet way, y'all hit me up on the super text line or hit me up on the email, matt@murphyshow.com, or on the X machine and let me know who you got. Because I need a barber.
I go to a barber in Mount Juliet.
Do you?
Yeah.
But I've seen your hair.
All right.
I did it for the joke. I just did it for the joke. Any good? I mean, this is not like is it? Are they any good? Would you recommend them?
She's great.
She's great.
Yes.
All right, that's a bonus because I think women cut hair better than men. I don't know why I do, but I do. All right, would recommend to me?
Yes.
Can she get me in the next foreseeable? I mean, if I called, could she get me in like early next week?
Probably.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take it under advisement, and I'll take anybody else under advisement as well. I just realized that my hair's getting long and shaggy. I don't want it long anymore. I'm going to shorten it up on the top, and I don't like the hair jelly I'm using. Have you noticed I used a different hair jelly today?
You got hair jelly in there?
Yeah, I got some hair jelly in there today, Ken. I got some balm.
Some balm?
Putty, I think they called it.
Why are you putting that in your hair?
Well, I just tried something different. I mean, my hair's so fine, I got to put something in there.
I think you need to grow it long again, dude.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially, I mean, you got your beard going on.
Beard's happening. Beard's here to stay for a minute.
Yeah. Just don't take up sitting cross-legged and going home. You'll be all right.
Okay. All right, I'm going to take that under advisement, too. So Jackson says go to my girl. Ken Weaver says don't go to anybody, and I'll take y'all under advisement, too. Donald Trump, so the mainstream media refuses to talk about this bombshell report that came out earlier today from Chuck Grassley's Senate committee. Refuses to talk about the fact that we now know that Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration schemed together to concoct a story to derail the Trump administration. I've been watching for the better part of 4 hours, and I've not seen. I watch this garbage so you don't have to. I watch the garbage that is CNN so you don't have to. It is my gift to America. It's my gift to you. And for the last 3+ hours, not one thing on the bombshell report that occurred earlier today because they're just not going to do it. They're going to pretend like it doesn't exist. You know what they have been talking about? Donald Trump making this remark regarding, he was asked a direct question about workers that Epstein took from him at Mar-a-Lago. And he was answering the question on Air Force One. And he goes, yeah, he poached them from me. He took them from me, and we didn't like it. He was taking them from the spa, and we didn't like it. And there was a follow-up.
I don't want him taking people. And he was fine, and then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia?
Okay, notice this, and I want to make the point. The first person that used the word stolen was the reporter. Donald Trump said he was taking them, he was poaching them. She used the term stolen.
Did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people, yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, as you know. None whatsoever.
For the last day and a half, and this just goes to the point that I make over and over with you, that you cannot hate the mainstream legacy media enough. It's impossible. For the last day and a half, they have obsessed over Donald Trump using the word stole. He stole her. He stole her. Oh, my God. Donald Trump is talking about Virginia Giuffre like she's an object. By the way, you people didn't bother to bring her up when she, quote unquote, killed herself after telling everyone involved in her story that she would never, ever kill herself. Suddenly she ends up dead with a suspicious note regarding her death, and everybody goes, well, I guess she killed herself. Well, she said 3 years ago that she would never, ever, 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 ever kill herself, and if she ever killed herself, know that she didn't really kill herself. And now they're like, oh, I guess she killed herself. But now suddenly you care. And so they're parading the family of this woman around, including Virginia Giuffre. Oh, by the way, Donald Trump is not considering a pardon or clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell. He's not. Yet the media is hanging on to this idea to keep this story in the mainstream press, to avoid talking about other things, and because they believe this sounds bad for Donald Trump. Everyone with a brain knows what Trump was talking about, that Jeffrey Epstein was poaching employees. He was finding quality employees, and Donald Trump had no idea why he was doing what he was doing. Obviously, he was doing what he was doing for his own gross, illegal, nefarious, sexually predatory reasons. But Donald Trump says he stole her. He stole her. Oh, he's talking about this poor woman like she's an object. No, he's answering a question, you morons. Stephanie is next. Hey, Stephanie, I'm glad you called.
Hey, Matt. I just got to say, you boys ain't right.
It's true.
But
it's true.
It's true. Now, Ken spews off a lot of wildlife myths, and it is not true that if you touch a baby bird that mama won't come back. So I highly suggest that he go onto the Walden's Puddle website and read some stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to have to become your wildlife censor. But
we need one. I think we need one. Would you mind, Stephanie, becoming the official wildlife expert of the Matt Murphy Show?
I will become your expert wildlife
person.
Okay.
Thank you.
And don't get me started on snakes now. Don't be telling me you're killing snakes. Now we're going to have a problem.
No, I'm trying to help. Here's what I do. Let's talk about this for a moment, Stephanie. Here's my method. If I'm walking in the woods or any place that's not my property and I encounter a snake, I leave that snake alone. I'm in that snake's home. I'm in that snake's path. I'm around. I am interloping on the snake. I don't kill snakes. I try to teach snakes about evolution because I feel like eventually if I kill enough of them on my property, they're going to evolve to learn not to get on my property.
Well, they already know that you're the apex predator, and so when they coil up and when they look defensive, they're trying to protect themselves because they know that you're bigger and you're badder and that you could very easily kill them. And if they're on your property, and you're close to the house, you have a, hose, turn the hose on and give them a light spray and they'll move on. But now, if you got rat snakes and king snakes and things like that, they're out there getting the rodents that are around your property. So you kind of want to leave them be. And some of them will go after the venomous snakes, which again, the venomous snakes don't want anything to do with you either. They just want to be left alone. So that's my 2 cents on that.
I'm not that big on killing snakes. Snakes are not my focus. But let me tell you about this, though, Stat. Spiders are a different thing. I have a touch of arachnophobia.
Come on, Matt.
I have a touch of arachnophobia. I feel like spiders are self-aware, and I feel like they understand what's going on, and I think they are cocky enough to believe that they can get me, that they can beat me. I think I've been around enough spiders to know that these cocky little things think that with their 8 little legs that they can take me down, and I'm not going to have it. I'm just not going to have it.
Well, they say in your lifetime, you don't know it, but as you're sleeping, your mouth is open, you swallow a lot of spiders. You just don't realize it.
My favorite statistic of all time, my favorite useless piece of trivial statistical information of all time, is that during your lifetime, Stephanie, on average, you are less than 3 feet from a spider. At all times.
I'd go with that. I put one outside today.
I would imagine that if I were able, that right now, as I sit here in this controlled area, there's a spider within 3 feet of me. Somewhere.
Well,
might be a itty bitty one.
Weaver a brick. He'll take care of it.
He might smash a TV or two. He might smash all the electronic equipment, but he'll take care of that spider.
Well, no, I thought that was Joan.
Well, that's what Mandus says, but I doubt that, Stephanie. I think Mandus did it. He's just blaming.
Let me tell you a really quick story about my mother. She had bird feeders, and she must have been late 70s, maybe 80, and the squirrels were getting into her bird feeders. Man, she got upset about it, so she went and bought a BB gun. And she thought she was just going to ping the squirrel and make it, by conditioning, make it stay away.
Mm-hmm.
But her aim was dead on, and she killed that squirrel.
Aw.
She put the BB gun away. It never came out again. She felt so bad.
It's interesting because I grew up in a hunting family, right? And, it was after I killed mine wasn't a bluebird. Mine was like a red bird with my BB gun. But, after that, I went duck hunting, dove hunting, turkey hunting, deer hunting, every kind of hunting you can imagine, squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting, every kind of hunting you can imagine. And, killed my share of all of it. And that was fine because that was game. That was for eating. I didn't really feel bad. I don't know that I could do it now, though, Stephanie. I don't think I could hunt anymore. I just have to be honest with y'all. I don't have it in me to kill. I'll go to the store, and if y'all want to call me a hypocrite as a result, I'll go to the store and I'll buy meat and I'll enjoy it and I'll absolutely love it. I'll go to the restaurant and buy a steak and absolutely destroy it. But I don't think I want to kill the cow.
Yeah, I've seen it done. I remember taking my daughter to a farm up in Kentucky where we would buy our meat. And as she came in the door, there was a cooler to the right, and there was a half hanging there. And she looked at me, and her eyes got big, and she goes, "Is that what I think it is?" I said, "Well, yeah. Do you think your beef just came on little styrofoam trays in the grocery store?"
Oh, yeah.
All the cows are out in the pasture, and they just do one cow at a time. It's a great place. Called Downing Cattle Company if you ever go up to Fountain Run, Kentucky. But I'll never forget that day. It was eye-opening for the little city girl.
Well, Stephanie, as the newly appointed official wildlife expert of the Matt Murphy Show, that comes with a lot of responsibility. You have to be at our beck and call when we have a wildlife question for you.
You got my number.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, guys.
All
Behave
right.
yourselves.
We'll do our best. I just snakes are one thing. My grandpa believed that the only good snake was a dead snake. I understand that, we've kind of changed our attitude on that. But my theory is if I kill enough of them, snakes looking around are going to say, hey, we probably shouldn't go on Murphy's turf because he kills everything that goes over there. And I'm teaching snakes to evolve. So we're a part of the evolutionary process at that point. Spiders are a different thing. I will burn my truck to the ground if I thought that there was a spider inside of it. I understand that I have an irrational, unreasonable fear of spiders. And I don't kill most of God's critters anymore around the house, but I'll kill the hell out of a spider. every time I see it. Every time. And I don't see many of them. Thank you, U.S. Pest. But, boy, if I see a spider. 9368 says, I'm the opposite, Matt. I feel the same about a snake, but spiders don't bother me. You can squish them pretty easy. Plus, I used to have a tarantula with my first husband at trauma. What? What? Come on. I don't think so. There was a story that I almost included in Nincompoops. If y'all have never heard this story about it was, I want to say either Detroit or Cleveland, but they found it was in an old factory. And I want to say the factory was still operational, but it was the largest spider web ever discovered by man. And it was a series. I mean, these spiders were living together, and they estimated that there were between 4 and 5 million spiders in this facility. I promise you there are people that are listening to the show that know exactly the story I'm talking about. It happened a number of years ago, and they had to go in and fumigate it, and the spider web was so big when they were trying to take some of the cobwebs and spider webs down, they were these spider webs were gathering together, and they were pulling them down like rope. No, that'll haunt my dreams, man. Absolutely haunt my dreams. Speaking of things haunting one's dreams, let's talk about James Comey. James Comey's got a lot of explaining to do. Whether he ultimately has to explain it or not remains to be seen. We now know that the FBI knew that all of this was a bunch of pablum when they reported that it was not. Remember, and hat tip to Larry O'Connor on this from WMAL in Washington, D.C., remember that time that James Comey claimed he didn't know that Hillary Clinton funded the Steele dossier? Remember that?
When did you learn that the DNC and Hillary Clinton campaign had funded Christopher Steele's work?
Yeah, I still don't know that for a fact.
What do you mean?
I've only seen it in the media. I never knew exactly which Democrats had funded. I knew it was funded first by Republicans, opposed to Donald.
But that's not true.
I'm sorry?
That's not true.
It wasn't true. It isn't true. It wasn't funded first by Republicans. It was, in fact, funded by Hillary Clinton. And, oh, by the way, James Comey knew that. This snot-nosed, elitist, holier-than-thou, you-know-what, knew that when he said that. He also knew that it was funded by Hillary Clinton and Camp Clinton when he said this in answering a question about whether or not he told Donald Trump that the dossier was funded by Hillary Clinton. He had a different story some months later after that interview with Bret Baier.
Did you tell him that the Steele dossier had been financed by his political opponents?
No. I don't even think I used the term Steele dossier. I just talked about additional material.
But did he have a right to know that?
That had been financed by his political opponents? I don't know the answer to that. It wasn't necessary for my goal, which was to alert him that we had this information.
My goal. His goal was not to alert Donald Trump. His goal was attempt to impeach and remove Donald Trump from office because he, as the head of the FBI and the deep state, he, in collusion with Brennan and Clapper and Obama and Joe Biden and Susan Rice, at least, they all thought they knew better, didn't they? They all thought they knew better. This is the real story that ought to be covered right now. This is the real story that ought to be on CNN. They're not touching this with a 10-foot pole because they're a part of it. They were a part of it when it started, and they're a part of covering it up right now. 26 after the hour on Super Talk. You see what's going on by there? You see that? Did you show that on Super Talk TV?
What was that?
Mason.
Was he trying to break the TV?
He's poking around.
That TV's fun to poke.
You said a mouthful there, buddy. 38 after the hour. We'll get to your calls momentarily. Mike and Larry hanging in there. The Matt Murphy Show continues on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I just want, for all of this media discussion about Byron Black and Byron Black's pacemaker, and will he be put on? I mean, and thankfully the Tennessee Supreme Court has stepped in and said, no, he's going to be put to death, and it's going to be efficient, and it's going to work, and we're going to do that. Because a Tennessee hospital earlier today said that it never agreed to a request by state officials to turn off his pacemaker. Why the hell he has a pacemaker is beyond me. after a Nashville judge ordered the deactivation of his device. The Tennessee Department of Corrections said in a declaration that the Nashville General Hospital said that they could disable it the day before, but then they wouldn't come to the prison the day of. And then General Hospital of Nashville said, we never said that. We didn't agree to participate in any of that. The hospital has no role in state executions. And finally, the Supreme Court stepped in and said, the man has been found guilty of murder by a jury of his peers and sentenced to death. It's time to engage in that sentence. I've been around long enough. Not as long as some, a lot longer than others. I've been doing this going on 26 years now. And here's what I'd like to tell you about Byron Black. 29-year-old Angela Clay was separated from her husband, Benny Clay. Benny Clay was the father of their two daughters, 9-year-old LaToya Clay and 6-year-old Lakeisha Clay. Angela had a relationship with another man. That man's name was Byron Black. In December of 1986, Black engaged in a dispute with Benny Clay, whom he later shot and wounded in the shoulder. As a result, Black was convicted of a felony and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment with work release. On March 28, 1988, while Black was temporarily released due to work schedule, he entered Angela Clay's Nashville home at 1101 Wade Avenue, Apartment B, and he killed every person inside of that home. He killed Angela and LaToya in the master bedroom. They were shot. Angela was shot once in the head while she slept and died in minutes. LaToya was shot in the neck and chest from about 24 inches away. She died within 10 minutes. Inside the second bedroom, Byron Lewis Black then shot Lakeisha, little 6-year-old Lakeisha, in the chest and pelvic area. According to a forensic examination, it shows that that little girl tried to defend herself before being shot from a distance of less than 1 foot, 12 inches. She died from a gunshot wound to her chest. At the time of the investigation, it was believed that she could have lived as long as 30 minutes. The police discovered the dead bodies after Angela's family members made repeated attempts to get in contact with her, and they reported her missing out of a concern for not only Angela Clay, 29 years of age, but her two daughters, 9-year-old LaToya and 6-year-old Lakeisha. You might be asking, Matt, why are you telling that story? I'm telling that story to help you understand that I don't give one damn how they kill Byron Black. Not one. I understand that as a civilized society, we choose to do it in a civilized way. Many of us who believe that sometimes death is the only appropriate punishment for crimes so grotesque, so heinous, so anti-society that they are almost beyond comprehension. What type of human being puts a gun to the head of a 6-year-old and pulls the trigger? Byron Black did. I don't care that his lawyers argued that he was mentally incompetent to stand a trial. He eventually was found competent enough to stand trial. And I don't care how they kill him. Do so in a humane fashion, fine. Give him better than he deserves, fine. But you think I give one crap about whether or not he has a pacemaker? I tell you about the Clay family because far too often, because so much time passes, because we wait way too long to execute death row inmates, way too long. It's not a deterrent. Far from it. Because of the length of time, we forget the lives that were lost, and we focus on the perpetrators of the crime. And I see it over and over again. I don't even fault the organizations that do it. They do it by rote. They don't even know what they're doing. Oh, Byron Black this, Byron Black that. Who cares about Byron Black? I care about the Clay family and the lives that were lost and the lives that could have been. And so when these stories come along about executions and, oh, should we give him the pacemaker and, oh, no. I don't know why we put a pacemaker in his body to begin with. Why did the tax-paying citizens pay for a pacemaker for a person that was on death row? And Matt, we don't want to be cruel. It's not being cruel. He is to die at the hands of the state or die in state custody. Either way, I care about the Clay family. I don't care about this dude. I just try to remind people, and I could go into further detail. I don't think you need me to. I think you get the point. We give them better than they deserve already. And I don't have any compassion for someone who's willing to take the life of anybody else that's not taken in self-defense or in the defense of other people, particularly, especially those that would kill a child. Hello, Larry. What's going on, buddy?
Well, you're going to tell your producer to put their hand on the dump button.
Don't dump yourself.
I mean, this is not even why I originally called in. But you know what? If we brought back old Sparky, that reduces the recidivism rate by 100%.
No, I agree. Did y'all have an old Sparky in Tennessee? I think in Alabama, they had one called Yellow Mama, because it was painted bright yellow.
No, we had one called Old Sparky.
Yeah.
And listen, these child molesters and these people like Byron, I don't give a rat's rear end. And I cleaned that up. I don't give a rat's rear end if they got a pacemaker or not. We should never even put the damn pacemaker in. I say bring back old Sparky, and then his pacemaker won't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
But I called in about the snakes and spiders.
Yeah.
So can I talk about that for just a second?
Yeah, of course.
So if it is a non-poisonous snake, and I've done this all my life, I'll catch them and I'll release them. I've caught them up to 6 feet long, and I've released them. If it is a rattlesnake, a copperhead, or a cottonmouth, I'm going to go ahead and send them on to their maker. And do you know it is against the law in Tennessee to kill a snake?
I did not know that.
It is. I mean, it's like a $50 fine.
Man, I've learned two things today. It's against the law in Tennessee to kill a woodpecker, and it's against the law in Tennessee to kill a snake.
Yes, it is. And an alligator.
What?
who would have thought there would be a law on the books in Tennessee that would say it is against the law to kill an alligator? When I had my boat down at Cuba Landing, about a year after I sold the boat, they caught a 7-foot-long alligator in the Tennessee River a mile from the boat dock.
So I would have been unaware that there. I mean, maybe I should be more aware of this. I'm surprised that there are any alligators of note in the state of Tennessee. I mean, I suppose maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know.
No, they've migrated for whatever reason.
I mean, well, who the hell really wants to live in Florida? Even the gators don't want to live in Florida.
Well, I mean, exactly.
America's dongle.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I'm telling you, Matt, and of course, I mean, you know me. I don't go anywhere, without preparation. And I don't mean preparation H, but if I had people on my boat swimming down on the Tennessee River and I see a damned alligator coming up, there's going to be people are going to be supplied with new boots, shoes, and belts.
Well,
I don't give a darn
that's
what
right.
the law is.
Well, you lose me with, if it's a poisonous snake, if it's not a poison. How the hell do I know? I don't know. And don't tell me to learn. I don't want to learn. Snakes need to learn to stay off my property. I don't kill snakes in the woods. I don't kill snakes I don't kill snakes when it's not on my property. But if a snake comes on my property, you're going to learn that was a bad idea.
When I was 9 years old, my dad took me hunting. It was up on my aunt's place, okay? And this was down in Pleasant View. And we went squirrel hunting. And I had my cousin's 410 rifle. Daddy wouldn't let me carry it loaded because that was probably the best idea. It was a single-shot 410. And I was an active child, so it was best for him not to let me carry it loaded. But we're walking, and we're coming down the side of a hill, and Daddy taps me on the shoulder and says, open up your gun. I open it up, and he reaches around, puts a little 410 shell in there. I'm looking up in the damn trees because I'm thinking he spotted a squirrel. He said, Larry, look down at your feet. There was a 7.5-foot timber rattler.
So let me tell you a real quick story, Larry, before we have to go. We would hunt in a duck pond with waders, and the duck pond was full of these bushy areas that the ducks would nest in. And so it was not like an open pond. There were all these little bushes. And so you'd have to navigate through them. And my grandpa and I were walking in, and keep listening, Larry. My grandpa and I were walking in one morning, and we were with Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles was deathly afraid of snakes. And as we were wading in, and we were up to waist deep in water, we were going to, a little place where we had a blind set up. And my grandpa was stepping over a log as we were wading in, and, there's bramble and stuff everywhere, and there's one of these little nests. And my grandpa leaned over to me and said, just keep moving and don't mention that there's a snake up here. And I was like, okay. And I didn't. And I asked my grandfather later, why didn't we mention that? He goes, because Charles, he said, I'll show you when we leave. And I said, okay. And so as we were leaving, and we had shot ducks and, done our thing, as we were leaving, we went out in vaguely the same direction, and my grandfather went by. I went by, saw the snake. And my grandfather said, oh, look, there's a snake over there. And Charles went, boom, 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 boom. And my grandfather said, if you had mentioned that snake was there when we came in here, he would have done the same thing, and we would have had no ducks because they would all have left. Anyway, that's my duck story. It's 53 after the hour on Super Talk. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, winding down this portion of the day. Mark Levin coming up in mere moments. Don't forget, tomorrow on the show, we're very excited. We are down south at Timms Ford Lake, Twin Creeks Marina. If you're down that way, please come and see us. I mean, we're all around Tullahoma, and, there's Manchester down there, and there's,
we're going?
Winchester. Oh, yeah, the show's going. Oh, yeah, I'll be down there. You know Kirby, right?
Yeah.
Kirby Allen Kirby. He'll be down there. You'll be here. That'll be nice.
Oh,
That'll be good for you, right? Hey, when during the breaks, you can come in here and you can sit in my seat and you can kind of squish it up with your hiney. Make yourself at home. What do you think? No?
Comforting.
You can play with your yo-yo without interference from others.
I've already been doing that.
Yeah. 3375 says, I can tell you we had an old Sparky. I'm an older man that did work with leather half my life. I made straps for the old electric chair. How about that? I was instructed to make sure no metal touched the skin on the buckles and rivet heads. I had to add another piece of leather. This was made by Charles Adams Harness Shop in Nashville. Wow. That's pretty cool. We'll see you at Tim's Ford Lake tomorrow for a big Murphy show from 3 until 7 o'clock. Until then, hug your loved ones. Have a great evening. So long, everybody.